Happy New Year's. I cannot believe it's 2017 already, first video of the year. I feel like I haven't made that many beauty videos recently just because I was vlogging and then one of my lights broke and all this stuff. So I'm just happy to be sitting down talking to you guys today. Today, I just want to share with you guys all my favorite products from 2016. These aren't necessarily products that launched in 2016. They're just stuff I know I used a ton this last year. And I think if you haven't already heard me talk about them, I want to tell you because I think they're definitely worth checking out. So that's what this video is going to be about. I did just want to bring up one thing just because I have some news for you guys. I haven't had a chance to tell you. I did change my channel name to just my name, ShayleeGlaziner. I love the vanity chair. It holds a special place in my heart because it is where I started my channel, or what I started my channel out as. But I just wanted everything to match. I feel like I'm getting older. I just wanted it to be more mature sounding or something. I don't know. So I'm ShayleeGlaziner everywhere now. Twitter, Instagram, my email, YouTube, Snapchat, is just everywhere. So everything matches and it's really simple and I love it. So yeah, other than that, I have a huge amount of stuff. I'm gonna take off my bracelets because they're already annoying me. I have a huge amount of stuff to tell you guys about. I'm really excited, so let's just get started. I love to moisturize my skin before I go in with makeup. I think everyone should do that, whether you're dry, oily, combination, normal, whatever your skin type is, you always need to moisturize your skin first. So my favorite thing that I do almost every single day through all of last year was MAC Lightful C Marine Bright Formula Softening Lotion. This is kind of hard for me to explain just because it does so much. Every time I try to talk about it, I feel like I just ramble. But this basically does so much for your skin. It's gonna hydrate it. It brightens the skin over time. So the more you use it, it gets rid of like dark pigmentation, sunspots, pregnancy masks, stuff like that. All the Lightful C line from MAC is a brightening and lightening line. This just, to me, preps the skin and makes it just absorb anything else you put on like a sponge almost. So I feel like I even use this at night and it helps my moisturizer that I put next sink in really good too. I could ramble all day, so I'm just gonna move past it, but I think if you haven't tried this, please try it. It's one of my favorite products from MAC. It's just not talked about enough either. It's amazing. Okay, so next, after I use that, I like to go in with a moisturizer that has an oil control to it because I have an oily T-zone. Through the first half of the year, I use the Cetaphil Oil Control Moisturizer, which I think is great. It was recommended to me by my dermatologist. It's got sunscreen in it, SPF 30. They make other ones if you aren't oily from Cetaphil, and they're drugstore price. They're just really basic. So I use that most of the year, but then recently I started using the Oil Control Moisturizer from MAC. I like this one better. I feel like it does a better job. The thing I don't like is it doesn't have sunscreen in it because that was kind of nice how this did. So these were both my favorite over the last year of 2016. They just help you stay nice and hydrated, but not too much to where your makeup won't set right. And it helps that oil not break through your makeup throughout the day. So I love these. So one of my favorite primers, I'm going to talk about primers next, is the Smashbox Primer Water. This is amazing. It kind of reminds me in a way of the softening lotion because it makes whatever I put on next just like to my skin. I feel like it just is like a little magnet or something. So everything lays really nice on top of this. So you spray this before you do your makeup. I do this if I'm wanting like a little bit of a dewier look versus like a matte. Otherwise I'd use like a mattifying primer. But this one is just a nice light primer if I'm feeling like I don't want to pile a ton of stuff on my skin. So I love that. Next is the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. I use this kind of all over my face, almost as a moisturizer. Like if I use this, I'm not gonna really put on my oil control moisturizers. I feel like I'm sounding so crazy because I'm talking about so much stuff. But this one I used, as you can tell, it's almost gone. I used this all summer long. This was perfect when it was hot outside and I just wanted like a nice, refreshing, moisturized feeling on my skin. This smells so good. It smells tropical, kind of like coconut. And when I'm just not wanting to put on a ton of things, I'll just use this as my primer, my moisturizer, all that good stuff. Now, honestly, my favorite primer of 2016 was this one. Again, it's almost empty. I need to replace it. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer in the smoothing formula. They have like, I don't even know how many. They have one for every single skin concern you could think of, but I like the matte one and the smoothing one. The smoothing one's my favorite. As you can tell, it's almost gone. I just take a little bit of this and put it right on my like pores, or like I have a line on my forehead I don't like. So it just kind of smooths everything out and gives you a really beautiful like smoothing effect so your skin looks nice and even. So the last thing I want to talk about for the skin prep is setting sprays. So I love MAC Fix Plus. I just have to have this. It's my favorite. It's so multi-purpose. You can wet your makeup brush to apply eyeshadow with this if you want a more metallic look. Other than that, you can set your makeup with it. You can prep the skin almost like you would use this one. But this is really dewy. It's like a really hydrated look that this gives. I just love it so much. I use it all day. I spray it on all day. I just absolutely love it. It has caffeine in it, green tea, just a lot of soothing, calming, hydrating things for the skin. Whenever I want a really, really matte look, I use the Boscia White Charcoal Mattifying Makeup Setting Spray. This is a pricier setting spray, but it does give me a nice matte finish, and I feel like it extends the wear of my makeup as far as like oil breaking through. So I really think it works. I love this. If you want to be matte, definitely get this over like one of these, because it's amazing to keep you nice and matte looking. Okay, so when I think of foundations I loved in 2016, 3 instantly came to my head. This first one is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This just came out this last summer, I want to say. I have it on today, actually. I am in the shade 3.0 and 3.25. I mix them. I'm really fair right now, so that's what I use right now. It keeps me very matte. I go in later with like setting sprays like Fix Plus if I want to look a little more dewy, but this is just full coverage. It stays on forever. I think it's supposed to stay like 24 hours. You get a good amount in here. This thing's huge, which I love. I think it's a whole ounce. Yeah, 1 fluid ounce, which is great. They just have a million colors. I just love it. It's one of my favorite foundations if I want that flawless look. Next, that's really similar, is the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing and Waterproof Foundation. I think this came out last spring, but I love it. This is actually what I keep in my freelance kit to do other people's makeup. The reason I mentioned that this was 1 ounce is because that's one of the things that I don't like about this, is that they only give you 0.84 ounces. So this is not standard. Most foundations come with at least 1 ounce of product. So that's the one thing that I could improve about this, is to make it bigger, but I love it. It's, again, 24 hours of wear. It's sweat humidity resistant. They need to come out with more shades though. That's the one thing, is like, I feel like this offers more shades, but I do love this. This is a satin finish, so it's a little bit more skin looking than this one. This one's really flat and matte. And then last but not least is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. Again, this is just, I feel like they're all really similar. They're all really full coverage, but I just love it. Like when I get the most compliments on my skin, I feel like I'm wearing this because it gives me just this like velvety skin look. Again, I want to tell you guys what I don't like about these products too, the packaging. Like, I am a clean person. I'm not someone who just like throws stuff around and leaves like their makeup all gross. I hope that's showing just how gross and stuff that looks, because I constantly clean this like every day, and just the way they have it packaged, it's like a stick that you dot on your face because you're only supposed to need like 3 or 4 dots. But I just wish, for how much this costs, they would come out with like a pump or even just a squeezy tube, because the packaging I hate, but I love the finish. I have this in a couple colors. I think it's still obviously worth checking out. It gives you a really beautiful finish. If I do want a lighter feeling of foundation kind of a thing, I'll use the CC cream from IT Cosmetics. Earlier this year, I was using the Naked one from Urban Decay, which is great as well, but this has a little more coverage. So I really do like this one better. It's like a little pump, even though it looks like a squeeze tube. I just love it. It has SPF 50, and it's good for your skin too. I forget the claims they make, but I cannot talk. But IT Cosmetics is a line that is designed kind of, I think they do it with dermatologists or something like that. They have skincare based stuff in their line, so I love this stuff. Next, for concealers, I think this is the only product that I have one thing to talk about, like the only category. Tarte Shape Tape. I think this is probably everyone's favorite for this year. It's just amazing. It covers everything you want to cover underneath your eyes. It's actually, I think, meant for contouring, so they even tell you to get like a darker shade to do your cream contour. I haven't done that yet. I just use it under my eyes and on blemishes. A little goes so far, and it gives you such a good coverage. Now, if I'm gonna wear a powder foundation instead of a liquid, my favorite since I've been probably 15 years old and got my first one has been the MAC Studio Fix powder. I just think it's so beautiful. It's a nice matte coverage. You can achieve full coverage with just powder. It's got a little pad that comes with it. I just love it. It's one of MAC's best-selling products for a good reason. It's just amazing. So, okay, as far as powders that aren't colored, they're just to set makeup. One of my favorites this year was the Laura Mercier powder. I set it upside down because that's how I work, because I work out of the cap. But I just get this in translucent. I love this to set the entire face. I love this to set my under eye concealer. I love it to clean up my contouring if I go a little crazy when I'm baking and stuff like that. I would say I definitely use this one of the longest amounts of time, but then like about halfway through the year, I switched to the RCMA no color powder. I hate the packaging on this because it's basically like a little seasoning bottle. It's really hard to like work. I mean, where do you pour it? You know what I mean? So I actually just have this old little tin from Sephora. It was like a little color switch for your brush. So I took all that stuff out and I just pour the powder in this and work out of that. And then the last part of the year, I actually just mixed in a little bit of the super white powder from Ben Nye, just because I'm so fair a lot of the time that I like that really bright under eye, and nothing would do it for me except this. So I would say those are the three more like translucent powders I used throughout the year. I know I'm like so annoying telling you a million things for every category, but I just love to get different looks. So if I want a really bright under eye, I use that. If I just want to set my makeup and look really natural, I'll use the Laura Mercier. And then this, I just have to mention, I want to say I found this about halfway through last year. It's this blot powder from MAC. I'll go ahead and put it on right now just to show you guys. It's just amazing. It comes with this little pad. Any shine you have, like if you get shiny like I do right in there, you go like this, and it doesn't add a bunch more makeup on your face. It just kind of goes in and mattifies those areas down. So you don't have to put, like you wouldn't want to go back in with the Studio Fix powder because that's just piling more foundation on top. So I just love it. It's a lifesaver because it takes away the shine without piling a bunch of makeup on your face. Okay, next let's move on to bronzers. I am not typically someone who uses cream products or like liquid like blushes or bronzers just because I have usually more oily skin, but I fell in love with this last year, and it was kind of a love-hate for a while, but then I love it. I use it almost every single day. I wore it today. It's the NARS Liquid Laguna Bronzer. This is one of those ones kind of like the Marc Jacobs foundation where I don't know if I just had it messed up from the beginning because I tried opening it like a complete dummy, but it's just so dirty around the cap. Like I can just never keep this clean. I actually keep it in a Ziploc bag because it's kind of come out on some of my other makeup before. But I just love it. It's a pretty warm bronzer, so if you're really cool tone, you might not like it, but it's just really nice and thin. So I put it on with a beauty blender. I kind of like draw out where I want to be warmer on my face, and then I'll kind of buff it out with my beauty blender. And it just brings some warmth to my skin so that I don't feel so pale sometimes. I even use it in the summertime when I'm not as pale as I am now. I'll even use it to warm up my skin then. Sometimes I even mix it in with foundation. I just think this is a great liquid bronzer, nice and light in texture, which is amazing. So last year, when I thought about bronzers, two immediately came to mind. So the first one is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. This is a drugstore product. I absolutely love this. I actually just last night picked up the two blushes that came out in this formula because I love it. It's buttery. It's like a satin finish. As you can see, I totally hit pan on it. It comes in two shades. I think I have the darker of the two. I use this almost every single day just to give my skin some color. And then if I ever want a matte bronzer, because this one is kind of like a satin, it's not sparkly, but it does have like a skin-like glow. If I want a matte one, I will use the Too Faced bronzers. This one's in Milk Chocolate, which I obviously hit pan on as well. I love when I hit pan on products because it doesn't happen a lot. So I know when they're getting low that I absolutely love them. Okay, moving on to highlights. I have 4 highlights to talk about just because I think they're one of my favorite things. I'll actually just talk about these two first. So, no surprise, Champagne Pop from Jaclyn Hill. I absolutely love this. I've loved this the last, I think it's been two summers now that it's been out. I just think it's pretty on absolutely every skin tone, everybody with whatever makeup you have on. It's just absolutely beautiful. I don't think anyone would get that and be disappointed. And then next I use the Mary Luminizer a lot from The Balm. This is an oldie but a goodie. The reason I love this is because when I am really fair, sometimes this can be kind of peachy. So I love this because it's more of like a champagne color. It's funny, this is called Champagne Pop, but this is lighter. So I love Mary Luminizer when I'm more fair. See the difference? And then the last one I wanted to talk about is just the new ones from MAC. They're definitely a product that I just fell in love with. These ones I have here are Double Gleam, which I'm wearing Double Gleam today. Kind of like a goldy yellow one. And then this one, Show Gold, which Show Gold is like a, has like a pink shift in there. It's so beautiful. When I think about my favorite blush, I think about Warm Soul from MAC. It's just absolutely perfect. It's a baked blush, so it has kind of like a satin finish. It has a little shimmer in it, but not like chunky glitter. I just think, again, this is kind of like champagne pop. It just looks pretty on every single skin tone, unless you get really deep. Then they have one called Lovejoy that's beautiful. This is one of my blushes that I wear if I don't know what the heck to do. Like if I don't know what to pair with my lips or my eyes that I did, I always wear Warm Soul. It's just perfect. And then I actually forgot to talk about this. This is the Shade and Light palette. So I wanted to mention this when I was talking about bronzers and setting powders, but I forgot. Kat Von D actually came out with a refillable one of these, which is awesome now because I was getting concerned. My yellow is almost out up there. I just think the powders in here are so nice and creamy. For the average person, you're not even gonna really need a kit. I feel like that was kind of a craze going on. But like, honestly, do I ever use that other color down here? I don't use these two barely ever. I definitely use these four. So, you know, sometimes it's better to probably just get one color to contour yourself with, but if you want to do a whole kit, this one I think is really beautiful. You have a cooler toned, a neutral, and then a really dark bronzer, and then you have, you know, the different setting powders. I just think this is my favorite contour kit out on the market right now. Okay, now we're moving on to eyebrows. I would say this whole year, aside from eyeshadows, because I use a lot of the MAC eyeshadows to fill in my eyebrows, we'll talk about that in a minute. The main things I used was the Anastasia Brow Wiz and the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I would say I use this almost every single day. I love this brow pencil because it has a spoolie and it's also retractable, so you can roll it back down. I love the MAC brow pencils, but that's one thing that bugs me is you don't know when you're gonna run out because you can't like go and check. You have to just twist it till it doesn't go anymore. You can't go back down. So I love how they have this one. And then the clear brow gel is just like glue. I use it last to set my eyebrows and I think it's the best brow gel ever. But the last couple months, I actually just replaced this because I went through mine. This is the brow definer. This is more of like an angled shape. I'm sure you guys have all seen it, but I have been using this like crazy. I think it has a little bit of a learning curve because right when it came out, I didn't really like it. Cannot speak, but the more I played with it, there's just certain ways that if I hold it certain ways, it makes my eyebrows really easy to do. So I think once you figure out those angles for yourself and your eyebrow shape you like, this is really quick as far as like filling in your eyebrows because it just kind of does the work for you. But I do like to have this little one still to kind of do any little things I want to do, if that makes sense. I know I'm getting like high maintenance with brow pencils, you don't need both, but I really do like these two. I think Anastasia is like the brow queen. Next, I want to talk about eyeshadow bases. Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. As you can tell, this is almost empty and I already replaced this earlier this year. It's just a skin toned eyeshadow. It's like a cream eyeshadow technically, but I use it as my eyeshadow base. And I use it every single day. It helps my makeup stay on right where I put it all day long. It doesn't crease or anything. I like this one because it does have color to it. So it'll cover up any like veins you have or discoloration on the eyelid. And then another paint pot I love that I just am reminded, like 2016, I think of Chilled on Ice from MAC. It's so pretty. But this I actually use just on the lid if I'm doing a sparkly look with it. Or I'll put this even, I hope you can see. Isn't that gorgeous? That's Chilled on Ice. I use this as my highlight a lot too. A bunch of the girls at work taught me that. So it's just absolutely beautiful and I love it and I'm so glad that I came across it because I never used it for years and years and now it's like a staple I have to have. So honestly, my favorite palette this year, and I know this is kind of weird because I built it, but has been my Z palette. This kind of changes throughout the year what I'm loving, but I think that this has just been the best way to buy makeup. Like if I run out of my makeup or somebody steals it or something happens and I have to replace it, probably the first thing I would do, honestly, is just go buy single eyeshadows and make my own. You can buy a other palette, but when you run out of a color, what are you gonna do with the rest of them? You know what I mean? I just love making my own palette and when one runs out, I just grab a new one. It's not like I have a whole other palette of colors that's wasted because I don't use them. Next is the Modern Renaissance palette. I think this is probably on a lot of different people's videos because it's just one of those standout palettes from 2016. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's just all these warm colors. Anastasia, I've always loved her shadows, but I feel like they've definitely gotten better over the years and this palette's no exception. They're beautiful. I even bought my sister one for Christmas because she loves this palette as well. Okay, as far as single shadows go, you guys probably know I love Sparkle. One of my favorite single shadows this year was Space Cowboy by Urban Decay. I wore it when I got married. It is just absolutely beautiful. It's a moon dust shadow. It is so sparkly. I just love this, and I think it's neutral, so you can wear it with so much. And then one of my other favorite single shadows that I got a ton of use out of this year are the Dazzle shadows from MAC. These are my 3 favorite colors probably. Last Dance, Slow Fast Slow, and Let's Roll. They are basically the exact same thing as a Moon Dust shadow from Urban Decay. They're just gorgeous, and they have a shift to them, so they make your eye look really unique and interesting because they have so much going on just in this one little shadow. You can just throw mattes in the crease, like browns or anything, and just pair them with this, and it looks so pretty. This is a new find, but I'm absolutely in love with it, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it since I didn't do a December favorites. I just have to tell you. It is the Anastasia Gel Liner. I just finally tried this, and it is heaven. I feel like this last year of 2016, I was on the hunt for the perfect gel liner. You know, I don't know, I tried so many. This one, at least so far, is just everything I loved wrapped up into one product. I feel so tongue-tied today. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. Okay, so as far as mascara goes, I am a lash girl. I wear lashes almost every single day. I don't really have a favorite mascara for like building up my eyelashes because I don't normally do that. I usually just wear fake ones. So for the bottom eyelashes though, I have to have this. This is the Extended Play Giga Black Lash from MAC. The brush is just so little, and that's why I love it to really get in and define my lower lash line. And it's sweat and humidity resistant, I think, and water resistant. So it's nice because if you get like sweaty or if you like tear up a little bit, it doesn't melt all over your face, but it's also not so damaging like a waterproof mascara would be on the daily on your lashes. So I love this. I have to have it all the time. So moving on to eyelashes, I have quite a few pairs. I can do a whole video on this. I know I need to. But basically my favorite lashes this year, I'd have to say, were probably the Ardell Wispies and Demi Wispies. I just think they look good with every single look. They're really cheap, they're easy. I just think that the Demi Wispies are a great everyday lash, especially since my eyes are so large. If you have smaller eyes, these might be a little more dramatic for you, but they're not over the top or anything crazy. And then if you have larger eyes and don't want that, like these have a winged effect, these are more just long everywhere. The Wispies are. So those are beautiful as well, super affordable and cheap. Next, this last like 2 or 3 months, I've been using the number 43s from Christina. This pack was huge. I ordered them off Amazon. These are also a great cheap lash that looks good on a lot of different people if you have larger eyes, because sometimes it's like these other, like the Wispies aren't enough on us with larger eyes. So these ones are the same shape as the Demi Wispies, but they're just bigger. So I love those. I'm actually wearing them today. Next are MAC 48s. These are one of my favorite lashes MAC sells because again, they're huge. I love big eyelashes, but I don't always love when they're like really thick and the band is thick. So these give me that really dramatic look, but still it's like an invisible lash band. So they're very, very easy to apply. And then next, when I really want a big eyelash, I wear the Queen Bees from Coco Lashes. I love these this year. I think they're just so dramatic and pretty. Like this is like a birthday night lash or a girls' night out lash. I wouldn't wear these every day, but they're gorgeous. I love these. Okay, all we have to talk about is lips and then we are done. So my favorite lip liners from MAC, I just grabbed one to show you guys the formula, but they are the Pro Longwear lip pencils from MAC. You can eat a meal and all your lipstick's gone, but this is still gonna be around the edges of your lips. It's the best lip liner ever. I love it. The shade I'm wearing today is the one I grabbed. It's called Double Time. It's a peachy nude. I just love these. I have almost every color because they're amazing. As far as lipsticks, I love MAC lipsticks the best. My favorite color, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of MAC stuff for you guys coming up. I'm really excited, but I couldn't find my favorite color this morning. I think it's at work. It's called Viva Glam 2. It's just a great beigey nude, but Faux is probably my second favorite color. I wore it on my wedding day. It's just perfect because it's pink, but it's not too pink. They're 17 bucks. They have a million different kinds of finishes and stuff. They're just beautiful. There's so many to choose from, so those are my favorite lipsticks. So Too Faced, I think it was this year, came out with the Melted Matte Lipsticks. This is the color Child Star, and it is just beautiful. It's like a light pinky nude. These are probably one of the more comfortable lipsticks I've tried as far as a liquid lipstick. They don't feel as dry as some other formulas can feel, so those are great. The MAC Retro Matte Liquid Lipsticks. To me, a lot of people don't like these because they're probably the more dry ones out of all the ones I've tried, but they stay a really long time and I absolutely love the brush on them. It's like a pointed tip, which I think it makes it so easy to apply. You can really carve out your lip shape with it. So that's one of the main reasons I like these, is because of the shape of the brush. Honestly, it just makes it easy. I love the reds out of this line and this kind of purpley color. It's called Oh Lady. So they just came out actually like last week with way more like neutral wearable colors. I haven't got a chance to pick those up yet, but I definitely will. I just love these. I love liquid lipsticks. You can pop them on and you don't have to worry all day about if your lipstick's moving all over the place, because it just dries and it sets and it's easy. So because they are so dry, liquid lipsticks, I always prep with the Stila Lush Lips Water Plumping Primer underneath, because this helps it not feel so uncomfortable throughout the day, and I just find it really nice. It gives like a little tiny bit of this baby pink color on your lips first, so it kind of cancels out if you have some of those. Some people have those lips that have a lot of like red or pink undertones in them that are hard to cover up, so they alter the color of your lipstick. This would be great for you because it kind of calms that down without having to put like a big concealer, thick concealer over your lips. This just kind of calms the color of your own lips down, hydrates them, plumps them, and smooths everything out to prep for any lipstick. Woo! We are done, you guys! Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever talked about that many products in one video. I think that was even more than last year's favorites, so hopefully this wasn't a million hours long. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys really soon. Like I said, I have a ton of videos planned. I'm gonna do a whole MAC series because I know you guys have been asking for that. I'm gonna do like how to get hired at MAC, just my favorite MAC products, MAC starter kit, whatever. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna call them all, but that's my next project, is like a whole MAC series. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye.